Angela Simmons. So Angela Simmons sat down with Angie Martinez.
You
Shout out
about to
to
piss me
Angie.
off.
No.
I
Ron
watched
knew
it.
that.
It actually was a good interview, y'all. I have to say, I did watch it. It was good. I kind of started feeling bad for Angela. She did get emotional in the interview, talking about her son and her dad, and everything. There was a portion in that interview that she mentioned about her dad, and I was like, I know everybody from the side out of hell out of her when she said, I'm not gonna. But anywho, she said when her dad, she was pregnant and she was trying to see if her son's dad was going to propose, and her dad told her, if he doesn't propose to you, don't worry about it, I'll propose to you. Right. And maybe that was just the dad making, I feel like nowadays people will turn something into something bigger, especially dealing with the situation with his brother. But I was thinking maybe the dad was just trying to, daddy gonna always be here and got your back type of
Yeah,
thing.
that's what I understood.
Yeah.
But he just like
You know why this video about to piss me off though, right?
just said that like you ain't really have to say you would marry her. You the dad. Like
No,
marrying
no,
her.
not that. I
No,
let the
no,
video.
that's what I'm saying though.
Oh, okay,
About
okay.
like him saying that, like, yeah, but that don't make no fucking sense. Like you the daddy. Like when a woman gets married, she's being taken from you to someone else. So to say you ain't gotta get, you can marry me is I know we don't want to think about these things, but people be fucking their kids more often than you want to believe. But I'm sure that's not what was happening here. That's just a very weird, incestuous thing to say. I'm sorry.
Well, I took it as like, don't worry, I got you.
Yeah.
I
Don't,
know, I get it.
like
And
you
Just know
belong
how
to me.
to
I'm gonna take care of
tie
you.
things now.
I'm not saying that's
Yeah.
what's happening. I'm just also saying you could have just said, "Don't worry, you a Simmons. You ain't got to marry nobody." Like that could have been. I don't know. Maybe it's just I don't know. I'm sorry, y'all. Go ahead. I've been reading too many books.
So she also talked about her relationship with Gotti and how it didn't seem, it was weird because she made it seem like it wasn't her decision, but it was her decision. So there's still some interesting parts in that. But let me play it.
You had another relationship.
Yeah.
Very public relationship. That people, it was weird because you guys shared a lot, but you didn't share a lot. Like we saw photos and we saw it happen, and people were invested because he kind of manifested it in a way.
Yeah, I think, when it comes to me in relationships, there's a lot of times people don't even see who I date, right? And with that one, it just felt special enough to share. You know what I mean? I think we both on the same page. And then it's like, I don't believe you have to give it all to show that you're together, but it just felt right.
You were having fun too, it seemed like. You were having fun with it.
For sure. I think, it felt right. And like it didn't, like we both have our own thing going on. It's like, cool. Like both these worlds came together. It's cool. Like we can share it.
And you've been quiet lately. Are you guys together still or no?
No.
No.
I'm not with him.
No.
Yeah. Not by choice, but I respect him. It's all love. Like
it's not your choice?
I wouldn't have chose it, but it was what was best. But I wouldn't have chose it, no.
What are you saying to me right now, Angela Simmons?
I'm saying that I'm a lover. I love love. I love relationships. I stand.
This man proclaimed that he wanted to get with Angela Simmons. This man pursued you. He proclaimed it in front of everybody that he wants Angela Simmons. So you're not telling me that he ended. Did he end the relationship or did?
No, it was my choice. I had to make a decision, but I think there's a certain level of what I can share and would share publicly. You know what I mean? And I can publicly say that I'm not with him anymore. But as far as details, I would just never.
It's not your style.
Nah, I'm just not that girl. I'm just not that girl ever to share that much more. Other than we're not together.
Yeah, and he's not really that type either. So.
Yeah, that's my vibe though. Like I said, I could have probably been in and out of 4 or 5 other relationships people would have never known and got my feelings hurt or not or whatever. And I just wouldn't speak on it because some stuff is just better left unsaid, I feel like.
Then you had another relationship.
We already know. The fuck?
Right. Well, we know.
We know he probably cheated on her and she don't want to stay with him.
But allegedly, that's what it was. Allegedly, they said that he had a regular regular. I'm saying it because I don't like that they said that. They said that, but quote from Twitter, X, whatever. They said he was dating a regular girl who was a nurse, and he had been with her for like 6 years, and he had just bought her some Mercedes, and she posted Mercedes. And basically, in the comments, they was like, it was a situation where Angela knew that he wasn't gonna stop messing around with the girl who he had history with, the main girl. But Angela was just the girl who he was showing around.
Wow.
So basically, she was forced her hand, like, this ain't what I want for myself. So she didn't want to break up with him, but she did. But the reason why I was saying that the video pissed me off was because it was a blip in a video where she had just went to like a southern accent, and I was so confused. Like, where the fuck
No,
did this
she
come
did.
from?
I thought I was tripping. I thought I
She
was
said,
tripping.
I wouldn't have chose it. I mean, I'm just not
Yeah.
that girl. I ain't that girl.
I'm that girl. Like, bitch, aren't you? Where are you from?
Girl, I said, like what? I was so
Maybe
Okay.
that was okay.
Can I say
ain't
what the
that
thing that worked on
girl.
my nerves though?
Yeah.
It's the little bit of leave out that you can always see and the extra hump in the wig. She always does it, bruh. Every time.
I gotta
Every
go
time.
back,
For
goddamn.
the most part, every time I
I
see
saw
her,
it.
it's
Bonnie,
a
I can't
little
stand
bit
you
of
because
leave
I
out.
wasn't gonna say shit.
I'm sorry, y'all, but it's one of them things that I be paying attention to because it was the bane of my existence when I wore weave.
I wasn't gonna say shit when you got that broke leave out,
Oh,
and it
she must
just
got her one of them
And then it's a little
U
she got a
part
traditional sewing.
or U part maybe,
Oh yeah, she could potentially have that too.
where she probably didn't really get her hair braided down. She may just like do like some little French braids or something and then throw it on maybe.
I feel like they edited it up because there was at one point that you could
It
clearly
was.
see it, and
It
then
was.
yeah, now it's fixed. Like somebody been like, "Hold up, we can see your leave out."
Oh damn.
Oh,
It ain't
sorry,
too bad, but it's
it's
just
not right
irky.
now. Yeah, you know what it adds to? Yeah, I'm starting to notice a certain prototype of personality when women are a tad bit young-minded and goofy.
Uh-huh.
It makes me feel like somebody, you know, fuck something up for them early on, so their growth is somewhat stunted, and it shows up in adulthood as them seemingly goofy women. And I'm not completely all the way set on it. It's something I'm gonna need to look a little bit more into, but it's something about the way she shows up that gives me goofy, and then it reminds me of like a version of sweet tea. Okay, okay.
You trying to say she on a
No,
or I'm trying to say that.
I was like, follow me.
I said, oh, we're talking about somebody on the spectrum. Is that what you're saying?
Ooh.
That's what I thought he was saying.
That's not that's not what that's not why I was taking it. But
That's
like
what it's
I'm
getting.
starting to think the growth is stunted at an early age because people be taking advantage of like that goofy personality in kids. Like, and like you said, if they are on the spectrum, I do believe people take advantage of those types of people more often than not. Like, it's just something I was thinking it. Okay, so it's not
I want to
unrefined.
be clear. I
It's
want to be clear.
refined. She's
When
refined. That's not what I mean, but it's something, y'all. It's something that's given not mature in somewhere. And it gives it gives traumatic experience, stunted growth. And I'm kind of still living in that very immature, goofy space because of it. That's what it gives.
She kind of talked about in that interview about when she was really young, and up and coming, and how people like really affected her with their comments and stuff. That could have something to do with it. Doing television so young, she said, in a way people would just clown her about her body and stuff. She brought up media takeout when they were like, she said, I guess relevant or whatever. She said people used to say some of the most horrible things about her. And I think that may be something that never really left her. So when we see her doing stuff that may be like, oh, that's weird, or whatever the case is, she might be doing it in the effort to like, I'm gonna do it. Like, I just want to do it. This is my way of trying to be carefree, to not care about what you guys are thinking about me. Because she touched on that in there.
I think it also has to do with caring a lot what people think. But this took me back to, she might just be goofy. She might just be goofy. She might also be on the spectrum. I don't know. I think everybody got a little bit of that. Obviously, I ain't got no fucking filter, so shit, I might too. But anyway.
Right. Listen, I really do think I am. I really do think I am. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. No filter. I had to do a lot to like have social, like be able to be social with people. Like,
Mhm.
you know, I would just kind of revert into myself a lot of the time because being boisterous would get me in trouble. So I do feel
So
like
just a month ago, y'all, I
neurodivergent.
showed y'all that video that I thought was funny as fuck
Mhm.
with Diggy and Russ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So y'all, it's given that maybe they just awkward because that he's awkward, but it
Somebody said
also
Angela is like that. I mean, not Angela, Vanessa is like that too.
Yeah.
yeah, and
I
then
mean, I can
also
see
people
it.
talking about her wanting to fit in, like her changing her accent in the middle is that
The
people who
monster.
change the way they talk
Mm-mm.
depending on where they at, it was weird to me.
Can I
So
say the 3 things that when she was talking that stood out to me that made me question about the breakup? And Niecy I feel like what Niecy talked about kind of matched one of them. One, I was thinking, is it because of the death of his brother and things were getting too dangerous or something like that to where you felt like you couldn't be around anymore? Because I think his brother got killed
oh, I
last
didn't know
year.
that.
Yeah, he
And her
got murdered
baby
last
daddy
year.
got murdered too.
So I wonder if things were too hot and at some point it fizzled out. The other thing is what Niecy kind of said about another woman, but I was thinking, did he want multiple women? Right? Like I'm creating, you know how dudes like those celebrities, they may have like 3 girlfriends. And that's why she was like, I'm just not that girl. Like I didn't want to make that choice, but you trying to put me in this, like it's supposed to be me, you, her, and her. And I can't, like on some Neo type potentially. And she was like, I can't do that. And then the other factor made me think, was he being too controlling? Did he want too much access over how you show up on social media or whatever the case, when that's really a part of your job as well for the different things you're into? And you're like, I can't compromise that now. So those are the 3 things that I was wondering, and maybe all of it could have a little bit to do with the decision. But I definitely can see him also, throuple type things. Like, nah, I'm cool on that. So that's
Somebody in the comments picked up what I was saying. Because I want to be clear, I really wasn't saying like on the spectrum, but I do feel like you could never. Well, it's called the fucking spectrum because we're all on it.
I'm the one who said that first, so
You're right,
if they
but you,
meant.
but you know they're about to blame me for that one. But I just wanted to say like that was not where it was coming from. It was really coming from me feeling like it's probably a trauma response.
mm-hmm.
And not just them, like let's remember, y'all, because we really starting to like see things differently now as time has gone on, what it means for children to grow up in the spotlight, but especially on television. And all of them grew up on TV. And I do think that sometimes, especially in a reality show, not as an actor, but in a reality show capacity, your family in your house being on television and what that means for you growing up as a kid into adulthood, it's not just people having negative opinions, but also people preying on you because you a kid in this entertainment area. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like there's something to be said for, how you just never know what fucking kids have been through in these spaces and how that might show up in adulthood. And you can kind of see something, but you don't really know because ain't nobody saying nothing. Like, that's it. Just be well, people. Pay attention to your kids.
Mm.